So here are some of the things Democrats are planning to do now that they have control of the House of Representatives. So they have the ability to do investigations now. And let's give you a list. This list is from Mother Jones, and here's what they hear directly from Democratic sources in positions of power. Here's what they plan on investigating. Take a look. White House security clearances involving Jared Kushner, Ivanka Trump, National Security Advisor John Bolton, and others. The controversial addition of a citizenship question to the 2020 census. The Trump administration's Muslim travel ban. The State Department's decision to close its cyber office. The Environmental Protection Agency's use of a political loyalty list. The possible participation of Cambridge Analytica's foreign employees in U.S. elections. The deadly ambush in Niger that left 4 American soldiers dead. The use of private email by White House officials. Trump's response to the hurricane that devastated Puerto Rico. The dealings of the Trump Foundation. Potential conflicts of interest between Kushner's business actions and his policy advice. Payments to the Trump Organization received from foreign sources. Russian intervention with state voting systems. Former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn's contacts with foreign officials. So, listen, some of those things I think actually make perfect sense to investigate. So I don't want to totally shit on this, but I also think a lot of these things, it's a waste of time. And I know that all of these things are they're literally being used for political theater to make you think like, oh, the Democrats are being fierce and they're really resisting hard, aren't they? When in reality, the whole point of this is it distracts from the policy angle. So, listen, with Democrats taking back the House, what would I do? Well, first of all, go watch the video I did the other day on Ro Khanna speaking to Cenk Uygur of TYT, talking about what the Democratic proposal should be going into taking back the House, and he lays out the top issues that we all care deeply about. He's like, well, first of all, we should have an up or down vote on Medicare for all, and we should make that crystal clear. Second of all, we should do a living wage and have an up or down vote on that. And third of all, we need to do something about campaign finance reform. So those are the top issues that really should be the top issues probably at all times, period. Also ending the wars and a new deal with green technology to fight climate change and give people jobs. All that's all important. That's top 5. But the 3 that they laid out, that Ro Khanna laid out, were 100% correct, and that should happen. So point is, there should be more of an onus on that stuff. And then also, listen, if I was in control, what I would do is, again, you have to weaponize their own philosophy against them. So what Donald Trump said repeatedly during the election is he spoke about an infrastructure deal. And he spoke about how we need to rebuild our country. I mean, our airports are terrible. I go elsewhere, I see they're beautiful airports. We don't have good airports here. And he spoke about, our infrastructure is so bad, and I want to do an infrastructure deal. And this is what he said on the campaign trail repeatedly, particularly in the Rust Belt, where he edged out Hillary Clinton and won. So if I'm the Democrats, I propose a comprehensive $1 trillion infrastructure bill, and I aggressively push it endlessly and scream from the rooftops that this is what Donald Trump wanted, and now he has the opportunity, and what are Republicans going to do? Shit on this thing, which everybody wants? So I would do that and push that as hard as possible. Okay, and we'll see what happens on that front. At the very least, if you don't win on the policy front, you win in the politics aspect of it, because everybody looks at you and they go, oh shit, the Democrats are really fighting for things that make perfect sense, and I like them for doing this. And then another thing you do is, I know Donald Trump had in his platform, and also he added to the Republican platform, 2 things that you wouldn't expect. One of them is paid family leave, and another one is Glass-Steagall. So immediately propose both of those things and weaponize his own ideology against him, or what he proclaims is his own ideology. Now listen, I'm under no illusions. I don't think that there's a good chance that this passes. Republicans still control the Senate, and they're going to tell you to fuck off with all these things, no doubt. But again, if you don't win in the policy side of things, you win in the politics side. And what happens is people see what's happening, they see that you're fighting for them, and then in the next election, you overtake in a giant wave. That's the idea. So really, you need to put an onus on the policy stuff. And you need to fight so hard on that front, because that's where Democrats win if they really want to win in terms of the view of the public. Now, to get to these specific investigations, well, actually, you know what? Let's go through them one by one, and I'll tell you exactly what I think of each one. Because again, I don't think they're wrong to do a lot of these investigations, but I guess I'm cynical in the sense that I know it is for political theater, and there's not much that's likely to come out of it. All right, now, first of all, the White House security clearance involving Kushner and John Bolton. Fuck yeah. Get rid of John Bolton's clearance. Fuck him. Fucking neocon, war hawk, war criminal maniac. And yes, Jared Kushner's corrupt as a motherfucker. He's taking millions of dollars from Israeli banks and he's lobbying for Israeli policy behind the scenes. Fuck him. Get rid of his clearance. So I am in support of them doing that one. Investigating the addition of a citizenship question on the 2020 census. Yeah, that shouldn't be there. I would get rid of it. I don't know if an investigation will do much, but I would want to get rid of that. The Trump administration's Muslim travel ban. Listen, super important issue. But again, I don't know why the investigation is the preferred route versus actually fighting it in Congress from a policy level. Actually, scratch that. I do know why. Because they don't plan on doing much about it. They want to just do political theater over it. Then you have the State Department's decision to close its cyber office. I'm not sure I'd do that investigation. The Environmental Protection Agency's use of political loyalty list. I would definitely go after Pruitt. But with Pruitt, I feel like I'd rather go after him on literal crimes. Like he should actually be prosecuted. That should actually happen. The possible participation of Cambridge Analytica's foreign employees in U.S. elections. Again, I think that particular issue is overhyped. The election interference, and oh my God, Russia's the reason everything bad happens. The deadly ambush in Niger that left 4 American soldiers dead. I don't want to do our own version of Benghazi. The problem with Benghazi was Republicans started acting and pretending like Democrats were nefarious and they wanted our soldiers to die and it was gross negligence or whatever. Not true. And silly on top of that. Like, really? As much as I despise Hillary Clinton, what was she doing? Sitting in an office going, stand down, let them die. That didn't fucking happen. And by the same token, the deadly ambush in Niger that left 4 American soldiers dead, if you're going to do a fucking committee hearing on that, I got an idea. How about instead, you force a vote on why the fuck we're in Niger, and you take the position, let's get the fuck out of Niger. Why are we there? I love how when that issue happened, everybody on the left was outraged, but they were outraged that President Trump was mean to the wife of one of the soldiers who died. Now, should he have been mean? No, of course not. But the real meat of the issue is, let's get the fuck out of Niger. Why are we even there? There was no vote on this. Okay, next. The use of private emails by White House officials. The pettier side of me wants them to pursue this road, particularly because they made such a big stink about it with Hillary Clinton. Now, don't get me wrong. There was a scandal there with Hillary Clinton, but the scandal was not private email use. The scandal was private server use, and beyond that, the real issue was, what are you hiding? And the answer to that was deep Clinton Foundation corruption. So I'm of the opinion Hillary Clinton should have been indicted, and I was on the record about that, and I still believe that to this day because she is a criminal. But I do want to see them go after Republicans on the email front, but the thing is, it needs to be super real, like it wasn't the case with Hillary. So in other words, if it's let's do an email investigation, and the reason we're doing it is because there are damning emails involving Trump and his businesses and money laundering and shit like that, okay, fair game, go after it. But if it's just like, let's go after the private emails because it's private emails, that's a little bit weak. Trump's response to the hurricane that devastated Puerto Rico, definitely investigate that. But more importantly, push for legislation to fix that. Dealings of the Trump Foundation, totally legit. Investigate that. Conflicts of interest with Kushner, totally investigate that for sure. Trump Organization receiving money from foreign sources. That's emoluments all day long. Not only should they do this investigation, they should be screaming about it in every single interview because the emolument scandal is the real serious scandal. Way more of a big deal than the Russia angle of the Mueller investigation. the financial angle of the Mueller investigation is totally real, and I think that there's some serious shit going on there behind the scenes. But the emoluments, I think, is the even bigger scandal. And the Russia intervention, political theater, former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn's contacts with foreign officials. Isn't Michael Flynn already, like, indicted on something or found guilty of something? Yeah, whatever. Let that one go. He's a dick. I hope he ends up in prison, but you don't need to investigate it this way. So, I don't know. That's my breakdown of it. I'm not totally against what they're doing. It's just unfortunate that I feel like the onus here is going to be put on, and the focus is going to be put on, let's do the investigation angle as opposed to the serious policy angle through Congress. And I don't think that's the best way to move forward.